What's up, YouTube? Today I got a pretty interesting story for y'all. I'm gonna be telling you about my twin flame. Now, at this period of my life, I was living in Midland, Texas, where they got all the oil fields and stuff. It's a normal day in Texas. I'm about to leave my house and go to my new school, and it's my birthday. So my sister for my birthday gave me like a handful of weed. My first thing is like, oh cool, I'm gonna show somebody. I'm gonna show one of my friends that I got all this weed. I think it's like 2011, 2012. So I'm like 14, 15 years old. I go to school, right? And I'm talking with these two other guys during lunchtime. I'm like, hey, you guys smoke weed? You guys want to smoke some weed? So we end up going during lunch to some alley across the street from the school, and we start toking up in the middle of the alley, and then an undercover cop pulls up, and we just start running. So we all get caught, and there's three of us sitting on the curb in front of our school. And I just remember, like, I felt two emotions. I felt so embarrassed because I was getting arrested and I felt like a piece of shit. But I also felt like pretty cool, like, hey, I'm getting arrested at school, man, you know? I have my weed in my backpack in the bottom of a deodorant stick. The cops like search through all our stuff and they're like, who has the weed? Blah, blah, blah. And we're all like, we don't have it. So the cop searches through my backpack again. The first time she just grabs the deodorant and, didn't even pay attention to the deodorant. Second time she searched my bag, it's like she knew it was there. She like opens up the deodorant and like dumps out my weed. It's like, you know. So then I ended up going to juvie for like 2 months in Midland. And I'm in juvie, and it's not co-inhabited, like you only stay with the dudes, but sometimes you get to see the girls in like school, or like they'll have this time where we meet in the chapel and they like talk to us about like doing better for yourself or something like that. We see the girls occasionally and we're not allowed to like look at them or talk to them or do anything, so we were in the church one day and there was a guy on the stage talking to us about like, making a better life for ourselves and like not to continue down the path we're going and stuff like that. And he had said something and I made a joke out of it. And when I made that joke, all the girls are lined up in the back. They're sitting on the back wall of the church and we're sitting up close to the stage. So I make that joke and all the girls in the back just start busting up laughing. And I turn around and like there's this one girl just looking at me, bro. And she was so fucking beautiful. And she had like her eyes were like dark. I don't remember if it was like from smeared makeup or like just like sleep exhaustion, but her eyes were like a little dark. She was in this orange jumpsuit, and is like when I saw her, it was like the first thing I remember thinking is like, damn, that girl's going through a lot, bro. And she's like I just like made her day, like whatever I said just like it made her feel like really good. So from then it was like hard to not look at her in jail. I would always be catching glances at her, and it was like I remember we'd like flirt through like just eye contact basically. I don't know how to describe it, but it was to me it was like a divine connection, and but I didn't think that much of it. I was just like, damn, this girl's awesome. And I knew I couldn't talk to her or anything, so I knew it was a bust. And then I get out of juvie and one day I get this Facebook request. I'm like, who is this? And I was like, damn, maybe this is a girl from like my science class or something. It was her. It was her from jail. I remember like I was so shocked, like, how did you find me? And I remember her telling me she listened for my name during roll call and she memorized my full name during roll call. And she found me on Facebook and friend requested me. And I thought that was crazy, bro. Like, damn, like, man, she remembered me, like my full name. She held on to my name throughout the whole time in jail until right after so she could hit me up, which made me feel really special. This girl has been everything to me for a long time in my life, through a lot of like the special times in my life. I've had this girl in my life in one way or the other. But we started talking and it was like it was like every night, you know, hours and hours of just laying on the phone, just talking, bruh. And we didn't have like FaceTime or nothing, so it was just like her voice. We had a lot to connect over. You know, we were both like living dysfunctional lives that we didn't want to live, that it seems like we were pushed into. Her life was definitely a lot worse in ways than mine. And I always felt like it was my duty to provide for her, take care of her, and give her everything. And she lived a city away. She lived in Odessa, and I lived in Midland. Um, and it was difficult to get to go and see her because I didn't have a car. She didn't have a car. We were both really young, and we were a whole city away, you know. So we just talked on the phone every night. I'd say a couple months after I got out of jail, I realized that like living with my sister wasn't exactly what I wanted to do. I didn't know the current state she was in, and I didn't really want to live around that, to be honest. So I decided to go back to Las Vegas, and I mean, that really started like the long distance thing between us, and it ended up lasting like shit 10 years, you know. Since I moved back to Vegas, we never got to see each other in person, you know. So the only time we ever saw each other in person was in jail. Um, we never like, I never got to kiss her. I never got to hold her, you know. We went through some shit after I moved, you know, like back and forth. Like everything was nice for a while, but then she would like, she was living like a crazier life than me, you know. So it was like there was things that would happen that I would just kind of have to deal with. We had this thing where it was like we said we when we both turned 18 we run away together, and I decided when I turned 18 I was going to join the Marine Corps. And that devastated her. You know, she really didn't want me to join the military, and I just up and left. You know, what she was going through in her own life was just like a bad environment and not that much like parental guidance at all. Like she was pretty much left to fend on her own in the streets, you know. So she got involved into a lot of different things. And I left to the military. I remember we weren't like talking at that point. It was such a big step for me. I was so excited. I wanted to tell her all about it, but she wasn't around. I don't know what happened to her, but she wasn't around. I found out from her mom's that she was in jail again, and which is fucking retarded because she only ever really got in trouble for marijuana, you know, in Texas, which is stupid, dude, because marijuana shouldn't be getting you in trouble. You know, it really shouldn't. And but she was in jail. I found out she was in jail, and I was in boot camp. So every day, every night in boot camp, when I got done with, you know, all the work for the day, all the training and shit, I'd write a page letter to her talking about the day. And I wrote a letter every day for my 3 months of boot camp. And when I got out, boot camp, I found the exact jail uh, she was in, and I sent her a letter, and then we started writing letters back and forth. So I'm going through uh, like my job training for the Marine Corps, my combat training, and we're talking through letters. Um, and that was like one of the most beautiful parts of our relationship. I feel like were the letters, because I was going through so much and like waiting 3 weeks, and then you get a response in 3 weeks, and then it's just like a big warm embrace. Every one of those letters was like just the biggest hug from her, you know? And then I got orders to go to Japan, and I kind of just like lost my head when I got to Japan, you know? Everything was so new to me and exciting, and I felt like I was on my own, starting a new life and everything. And, you know, I can be a really shitty person, to be honest. And I still don't know to this day, like, why I really did it. But while we were writing letters to each other back and forth, I just got to Japan and I cheated on her. And I don't know what I was thinking, man. I was 18, I was 19. I don't know what I was thinking. But I was like, let me tell her that I met this girl. And like, I'm interested in the girl and shit. Like, let me tell her that through the letters. And I told her that I was talking to this girl in Japan, and she flipped it. She lost it. You know, I broke her heart. She hates me. And from then, that was what, maybe like 2016. For like probably the next 4 years, we talk on FaceTimes and on the phone and back and forth. But it was always like me trying to win the love back, you know, me trying to win the love back. On top of that, I'm trying to like get to know who this person she's become is, you know. And what I mean by that is like, she got out of jail and decided to pursue stripping for the next 6 years. I don't know much about like a stripper's life, bro, like the inner weavings of it, you know. But I know that she ended up getting addicted to coke, and like there was just like bad people around her all the time, you know, and that had an effect on her. And like in a lot of ways, it made her stronger. It made her a lot stronger as a person. But I think it also kind of made her like cold-hearted. Um, but then we would still talk, you know, and I'd be in and out of other relationships, and she'd be in and out of other relationships, and we'd still like just hit each other up just to talk, you know. But it was like things were changing, bro. Like it was like I was not, like our connection wasn't, it was deteriorating. Life just like, it was like life hit us both differently in extreme ways, you know. And it's like we had to focus on our lives, and we couldn't focus on each other. And I took, at the time, I took it as like betrayal, you know, like you're my one true love. You know, why are you doing this to me? Like, just talk to me. Why are you ignoring me? You know, and she's doing all this shit that I can't really understand. Like, I can't really understand like her dancing all over other men, and you know, doing all that crazy shit. And but she ended up dating like this country dude, and she had a baby with him. And when I found out she got pregnant, I lost it, bro. I lost it. That was like the ultimate betrayal for me. Like, you completely crossed the line. Like, there's no going back. Like, you're my twin flame, and now we can't have the life that I've always dreamed because you got pregnant by another man. it just emotionally threw me for a wreck, bro. I started having anger and stuff when I talked to her. And, you know, I didn't treat her well. And it just kept snowballing, and we just kept losing connection and losing connection. And then one day she just deleted herself off the internet, off all social media and everything. But like, I remember in boot camp, we were doing the Crucible, and we're just like hiking for miles and miles at a time, and it's like pitch dark at night, the stars are up, and I remember singing like "Hey There Delilah" just to get me through the process, just to get me through the hiking and the pain and everything. I'd sing "Hey There Delilah, what's it like in New York City? We're 1,000 miles away, but girl, tonight you look so pretty, yes you do." And that like motivated me because I was like thinking about like coming home to her. Her memory is what pushed me through a lot of the pain in boot camp. And man, I love her so much, and I love her to this day. And there's nothing that's gonna change that, bro. And it sucks because I think like, have I lost my soulmate? You know, have I truly lost my twin flame? You know, is she gone, bro? And yeah, she is. She's gone. I'd be extremely shocked if I ever get to talk to her again. It would be amazing, but I'd be shocked. And what made me make this video is just like, this, sometimes when she just crosses through my mind, and I'm like, dude, this is a really good story that I should share with YouTube. Even though we never met and never like touched hands and shit, like she's always gonna be a part of my life. She's cemented in my life, in my story. And yeah, she's beautiful. Uh, she's the prettiest girl in this world, I think. In this lifetime, bro. The most beautiful girl I've ever seen. And but yeah, what made me make this video is my sister has got a tattoo just like she got, and I don't like the tattoo. I don't. I think it's insane. But it's 666 right here, and my soulmate had gotten that tattoo a long time ago, and then my sister got it a while ago, and it was like, it kind of broke my heart. I saw it as like betrayal from my sister too, even though that's like something she likes and shit too. It's just like now every time I see that tattoo on my sister, I think of my ex, and I think about the terrible like heartache I get from it and the loss. You know, I tried so hard to hang on to that relationship because it was a dream. It was a dream. It was like, hey, we're two fucked up kids, and we're gonna make a life and change the cycles of the fucked upness and make a life together and make everything better, and we have each other to get through everything. And that shit's gone, bro. I think about these things where they say like men really like have that one girl, you know, that like they like, if they lost or whatever, they're heartbroken about it for the rest of their lives, you know. There's that one girl, you know. And to me, she was that one girl. And yeah, I lost her. And it's just, I think it's crazy because like, if I could go back, like the moment I lost her, bro, I did such a childish thing, you know. Honestly, I acted like a child. I thought like a child. And because of that, I ruined everything. And it's hard to like, it's hard to really blame myself because it's just a part of growing up, you know? And so it was like, we kind of like grew up together by each other's side in memory. But at a certain time, that memory kind of died. It started dying. And then, you know, after she got pregnant, I just like turned into a completely different person for a while, you know? And she wouldn't like the man I am today. I don't know what she'd think of me now. If I knew I had a chance at winning her back, dude, I'd do anything, bro. I'd do anything, bro. It's like that type of love, bro. It's a shame. It's a shame. But yeah, I mean, the only thing I can do now is just hate my life and keep pushing. But if I could, I'd spend many a lifetime with her.